Hello, Stephan here with Liquidity with a video on whether you should use the pronoun they when you're referring to one person, technically speaking, grammatically speaking. Liquidity. Maybe I should start this video by telling you a little bit about myself. So I do have a master's and a doctoral degree in English, so I would think I know a little bit about the English language and language in general, especially considering the fact that English is not even my first language. English is actually my second language. German is my native language, so I know a little bit about grammar. I know a little bit about language acquisition. So I'm not a complete ignoramus when it comes to these issues. For most of my adult professional life, I've been teaching writing courses. So when students would write a sentence like this one, everyone needs to sleep when they are tired. In the past, I would have marked this as incorrect or not ideal, since everyone and they don't really agree in number. Everyone technically refers to any one person, one grammatically, right? And they is a plural pronoun. However, there are a couple of reasons why I have changed my mind about they as a pronoun. Now we'll go into detail after I give you a couple of alternatives and how I'm actually cycling back to the word they and don't really think of it as the worst alternative. It's actually sometimes a good pronoun to use, even if you're referring to any one person, one grammatically speaking. So as an alternative to everyone needs to sleep when they are tired, you could say everyone needs to sleep when he is tired. And many decades ago, that would have been perfectly fine because people wouldn't have made a big deal about he being used as generically any one person, right? However, obviously, if I use he to refer to anyone, I'm not really being inclusive, and it's really sexist language because I'm basically referring to he as the primary third person pronoun to refer to anyone when it's really the masculine pronoun in English. So I could also use this sentence as an alternative. Everyone needs to sleep when she is tired. And you will actually see a lot of people switch between he and she, mix it up a little bit, and that can be confusing. That can be stylistically a little bit awkward as well. So if I want to be super correct, I could also use this as an example. Everyone needs to sleep when one is tired. So this one works grammatically, but stylistically, it's a little stilted. It's a little bit awkward. I'm not in love with this one. Another alternative is to put everything into the plural if I want to use the word they. So I could say, all people need to sleep when they are tired. Perfectly fine, stylistically a little bit unusual, also not what most people would say in natural speech. So again, correct grammatically speaking, but I'm not in love with it. Here's another alternative. You could just use the generic you, as in anyone. So you could say, you need to sleep when you are tired. Which grammatically speaking would work. It's a little bit colloquial, it's a little bit casual in style. It can also be ambivalent because the English pronoun you is used for so many different purposes, so many different scenarios, when in other languages it actually translates into multiple different kinds of pronouns. So here's one reason why using they, even though it's grammatically speaking used as a singular noun when it clearly looks like a plural noun, would actually be a good idea. A lot of people use it that way. It's very, very commonly used, at least in North America. I would think probably all over the English-speaking world. I don't think that's just a North American thing, but you will hear very, very commonly people use they, especially today. And there's another reason for that one. Not only is it colloquially used a lot, it's also very inclusive when it comes to gender. You know, I'm including any kind of gender. It's actually silent on gender. Therefore, it is ideal. I don't have to worry about male, female, or anything in between or outside of that binary paradigm, right? And if we want to be inclusive, we don't want to think in terms of binary terms. We want to think in terms of including anyone, regardless of how people identify, how people see themselves. Everyone needs to sleep when they are tired is actually probably the safest and the most polite and the most inclusive use of the word, also because it is closest to what colloquially you will hear people say. It's also natural. It rolls off the tongue better than any of the alternatives, at least in my opinion. Let's not assume that we can easily identify everyone. Let's not jump to conclusions. Let's be sensitive and let's be careful. And that's why I think the word they is actually quite useful. I personally don't want to be referred to as they, but if somebody did that, I wouldn't be offended by that because it is inclusive. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful, helpful, interesting. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. I have all kinds of different videos on my channel. Most of them are about the German language, actually, how it compares to English and how to say certain things in German. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. See you in the next video, hopefully.